Hi everyone, this is Ayo, and this is going to be the first of a 3 or 4 part series on how a finance can help Alex, right? And let's start with who Alex is, right? Alex is a freelance developer running his own small digital agency. He works with clients through his agency, which is a limited liability company, but he invoices the company as a freelancer, as it's not on a fixed salary yet. So Alex is a freelancer. He cannot afford to pay himself a fixed salary at the moment. So he just invoices himself. So his salary is very like not stable. Like is this amount this month? Is this amount the next month? Alex is recently married and his wife is doing a master's. So this means most of the responsibility of the house probably comes to him. He's been doing this, so that is his business for like 2 years now, and has had some good progress, especially in the last 3 months. So in the last 3 months, he had a starting balance of 32,000, blah blah blah, and already upwards of 47K in the following 3 months. So he has been working for 2 years. This is how much he had at the end of May, like roughly like 1 year and some months. And just in the next 3 months, so June, July, August, he has probably made over 47K already. His average rate is now 70 euros per hour or 500 euros per day. Alex works majorly with contractors, and now there's a good bond because they've been working together for over 18 months now. He has his accountants whom he works with quarterly for VAT filings, and then at the end of the year for bookkeeping and tax returns filings. He gets paid through Stripe, PayPal, and the occasional SEPA transfer. He has a business account, but as he's still like just 2 years into the business, he sometimes pays personal expenses from there, which he should not do. But he has a business account, right? And now, what is Alex's problem, or what are his problems? Number one, scaling his business. Alex wants to grow, right? It's profitable. Like you saw, he had some money in the account, and he has also made like close to 50K in the last 3 months. So he has had some success, but is unsure if he's ready for the next big step. So to grow his agency, like should he hire full time? Should he invest more in this direction, or should he just still hold back a little bit? He needs clarity before making that leap, right? He has a gut feeling, so gut feeling about how much he makes, like how much expenses he makes. He has a feeling about how many months runway he has. So if no income comes in, but the stakes are too high, right? He's recently married, so he cannot just make a decision based on his gut feeling, right? Number two, Alex and his partner, they want to start a family soon, so like a child. And for him, like he has to go from varying income to at least he needs to have like a stable, like yearly salary, right? So he wants to set a personal targets, and this should be enough to cover their like expenses as a family, right? So enough to cover like a bigger house, a car, and long-term stability, right? It doesn't just want to make money. It wants to know if the business can consistently supports its future family life, right? Number three, business optimization, right? So there's the scaling the business, like going big, but like just optimizing what is currently happening in the business, right? Lots of money coming, but they go as fast as they come, right? He believes there's a leak somewhere, but he does not know where. He has tried creating budgets in the past, but it just can't stick to them, right? With the plans of starting a family, is really frugal to like and out of fear of the money disappearing again. So that's why you see that he has been able to like save a lot of money over the last 3 months because he's really really frugal, but he knows this is not scalable, and he also does not want to live life this way, like fear of losing money and just being very very careful about every single expense, right? What has he tried so far? The basic He has tried organizing things in his spreadsheets, hours in Excel, filtering and building formulas. It started well, like when the business started, but with an average of 80 transactions per month, It just took too much time for him, and it was also very difficult with different sheets per month or per year. So he gave up at the point. He has also tried accounting software, but it was too focused on compliance and taxes, right? So accounting software is majorly there for accountants, right? We have some that a little bit like also help founders, but majorly is accountants that really like know how to use accounting software because the language is also for them, right? He also thought of a dedicated financial analyst or a controller, but as it's not big enough, it's too expensive for him at the moment, right? Now, looking at this use case, looking at what Alex has tried, looking at the problems, looking at who Alex is, now the question is how can we help him, right? And these are the ways we can help Alex. Number one, scaling his business. Alex is at a turning point. It's profitable, but it's not sure, right? So what we want to do is number one, we want to help Alex, number one, finally see where the money is going, like the categories, the top vendors, and a clear breakdown. So how much is he paying like to contractors, how much is he spending on ads and all of this. We want to also help him spot leaks that were hidden before. Right. So you always had a gut feeling, which is like, oh, that there are leaks, but what exactly are those leaks? Right. So to also help him spot it, and instead of relying on guts, Alex can now scale, or he can now make his scaling decisions like based on facts, like so he sees the data, right? And number two, starting a family. So Alex knows he needs about 100K gross annually to support his family life, and so a finance will help him track how much goes out. Because he's going to set a personal target for personal payouts that he wants to hit 100K annually, right? Then also to see if his business can sustain like these payouts, because he also does not want the business to suffer. So like just to know what is really happening. Then number three, Alex has tried budgeting before, but it was gut driven and impossible to stick with. Because with budgeting, it's difficult to just say I want to do this, right? You need to first understand what have you done in the past, how have you spent money in the past, and that is like the best way to know and to plan ahead for the new months. Um, yeah, and that is basically the goal. So I'm just going to do a walkthrough video on how heyFinance is going to help Alex, and what Alex needs to do right now, because we're going to like be together. Though this is just like a demo video, but we're going to be together, and the only thing I need from Alex is a CSV version of his bank transactions, which I have. Thank God for that. And yeah, so let's just go straight into it. So this is the CSV version of Alex transactions. This is just for the last 3 months. So from 1st of June to 31st of August 2025, right? And now we're going to go to the heyFinance platform. So I created a demo account for this. You see the account is, I'm going to bring this over here. So you see the account is pretty empty. Overview, transactions, reports, budgets, accounts, library. So these like categories, vendors, blah blah blah, and then the profile. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new account. Call it business account. Right. Just a checking account, and yeah, we're going to leave balance at 0 for now, right? But because Alex sent us his transactions for the last 3 months, you see that there was a note somewhere that he had a starting balance of 32,350 at the end of May, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to, before we do anything, so like there's an opening balance which was set at 0, but just to get the right values, so it was 32,350, just to be sure, and that was at the end of May. So just before these transactions, yeah, I can just leave it at this time. So Alex had this account opening balance. So there were some transactions before this time, but this was the balance So this is what we're just going to have. Then the next thing we're going to do, what I like to do is for this phase is we're going to like create some rules to auto categorize. But I like to first like show like a preview on this on heyFinance, just so I can sort it by description, sort it by an amount, just to know what kind of rules myself and Alex are going to work with. Right, so I'm just going to click on this import transactions from CSV, and we have this. So this is pretty straightforward. um, Kind of try to make it as the user experience as good as possible. So basically this is like a preview of this same CSV file we saw, and these are just some like options. Then some things are compulsory, so we just need to map. So for example, in the CSV you have those dates, description, and amounts, right? And these are very, very important. So we need these three. Some CSV also have transaction types, so maybe like direct debits, cashback, refund, but that is not present in this CSV. So I'm just going to leave it empty. So it's going to just be transfer in and transfer out, right? Additional fields you can map, vendor, category. So some CSV already have some of these things, but for this one it does not have it, right? So you also see like a preview of the transactions that we are importing, right? And the amount and everything. But I'm just going to go to continue to review, and yeah, on this page we kind of already see like what is happening. So what I'm going to do, because like I said, I like to like look at the transactions first, just so I can create some rules even before like mapping. And you already see like for plus 47,000 will be added to the account, but I'm going to sort it by description, just to see like what has been happening. So we have AWS, we have Starbucks, we have DB, um, we have Figma, we have Google Workspace, we have Google Ads, we have Meta Ads, we have Gym. I think this is like personal. What else? Yeah, so based on this, I'm just going to go back to the first page, just so we create some basic rules. So I'm going to open this on a new tab, the library. And some things that make sense for someone like Alex is to have like software subscriptions. So like or no, this is probably cloud. So you want to have like a category like cloud, cloud services, right? And yeah, maybe with cloud services, what we can do is we can already have like a rule, and if description contains AWS, right? We save this. Then we have Starbucks. And I'm not going to do everything, just like some very common ones, just so we auto categorize them. So I can leave Starbucks, but maybe something like Figma also. So instead of categories, you can also like add like a vendor just to help. So you can have vendor, but something like Figma is also going to be under software subscriptions, right? Um, so we can have software subscriptions and we just link Figma to it, right? Um, which other software subscriptions do we have in the transaction? So we have Google Workspace. There's like more communication. So I think that would make sense to have like a communication tools. So Google Workspace. So we can also add a rule here. Description includes Google. Add a new condition and also includes Workspace. Right, so this one is if it has Google and Workspace, so we know it should be categorized under Google Workspace. And yeah, which other ones? We can also like add a lot of them later. So but we have advertisements, that is also pretty common. That is also very, very good. We have domain, so I'm just going to create some of them down already. We have Notion, we have PayPal for clients, we have contractor. So contractor payments, we have clients payments, right? Contractor clients. So I can just quickly add some of them. So first we have ads, we have contractor payouts, right? These are expense categories. For the income, we can have clients payouts. So like this is like positive, and we can add a row here. So if it contains clients from some of the things we saw. Coming back here, we can have a row here if it contains ads, because we saw Google, and there was also meta ads. For contractor, we can see if it contains contractor. Yeah, and this is basically, yeah, I think for now we can also stop here just to see if there's any other thing. Okay, I think we can also stop here. Yeah, we don't have to do everything. Or is there anyone that's also very popular? No, we can also stop here. So yeah, this is like just like basic rules that we set up just to help the categorization, right? And because I set this up, I'm going to so this will not reflect on this page. I'm just going to refresh and re-add all the, just do this again. So I'm going to start from the beginning, go to accounts, bring this back here, import transactions from CSV, and yeah, very similar. We checked this already. Continue to review. Oh no, something is wrong. Let me just quickly refresh this. So yeah, import trans, because the rules were not loaded in this page automatically. So if I click on this, then you see 102 transactions were automatically assigned vendors and categories based on your rules and existing vendors. So if I just sort this by categories just to see if everything was accurate, we have Figma, which was the vendor, and we linked it to software subscriptions. So you see they were automatically matched. You see PayPal contractor, that was linked to contractor payouts. We have Google Workspace, that was linked to communication tools. So there are a lot of Google Workspace. We have AWS based on the rule, that was automatically linked to cloud services. We also have one other client, Stripe, PayPal, but it had clients, right? So everything was linked to clients payouts. Yeah, so we just have like different types of clients payment. This was SEPA transfer, but everything is still clients payouts. Everything looks accurate. Then we also have ads. So we have Google ads, Meta ads. Yeah, and that is it. So 101, I think, out of 191 were already automatically categorized just based on the rules we set. Right, so I'm just going to upload all 191 transactions, and yes, 0 duplicate transaction skipped. This was successfully added, and you see the account balance has automatically updated, right? And now you see it shows the opening balance as well, which, so for example, if it decides to keep uploading from like 2 years ago, it just needs to edit the opening balance, because this is the opening balance as at this date, and it also shows a warning. The first non-opening transaction was this on the 1st of June, so the opening balance date should be before like the transactions we've uploaded. And yeah, this is basically it. This is basically how the uploading works based on the rules that we set. And now we're just going to go straight into it. So click on view transactions, and I'm going to hide this somewhere here. Right. So now you see it shows like all the transactions on that account all time. So like remember it was from 1st of June till end of August. So those are the only transactions we have, and it shows like the total inflows and the total outflows and the net cash flow, right? But it also like puts here the account opening balances. So this is not calculated with the inflows or outflows, but it just shows you that this also happened, right? And what we can already quickly do is just filter by, maybe we can just go last month. So this is what happened last month, or I can just change this to monthly. I think that's better. So this is August. This is what happened last month. This is what happened in July, and this is what happened in June, right? And what we're going to do next is just to, because we didn't categorize everything, right? So I'm going to filter by category, so the ones that have no category, just to see which ones are left. So we have Notion, we have Slack, we have like utility bill, we have Netflix, we have Namecheap, right? So what I was going to do is we're going to check. So Spotify, I'm going to search for Spotify, and for Spotify, this was like a private expense, because like we mentioned also from the case study, so Alex was spending like was doing some personal expenses from the business account, right? So we're going to have a category called personal expenses, and we're going to update this, right? I'm just going to clear this. So we also have Netflix. So this is also like personal expenses. So I'm going to search for Netflix. There's 6 of them. Updates. So we have personal expenses and close. And something like this, you can also set rules. So if we had set some of those rules, these things would have been automated at the beginning. We have Namecheap. For Namecheap, what we're going to do is, before setting the categories, right? I'm just going to create a vendor and call it Namecheap. Then just update the categories for domain. Yeah, I think that's okay. Domain. We still have, so we have rents. So we're just going to update this, call it rents payment. What else? We have Slack. So Slack will be under communication. So this will be communication tools. What else? We have, yeah, SEPA transfer to private accounts. So let's just check if there are more of this. So there are 3 payments to private accounts. We're going to call this private payouts. Which other ones are left? So we have Starbucks. I think this is quite a lot of them. Yeah, so for this one, we're going to do the same thing, just so so we can have like vendors as well. So we'll change this to what the vendor, but we'll also create the category as electricity. All right. Then what is left? We have Notion. For Notion, we can do the same thing, to be honest. Notion, and updates the categories. This will be under software as well. So software subscriptions. We're almost done. So we have Edicar. We can also do the same thing, just update the vendors first, then also update the categories as groceries. What else? So we have SEPA transfer. So this is VAT, right? Accountant fees, VAT. But I think this is also like a lot. DB ban. Let's first do this one. So there are 8 of them. We can also update vendor limits DB. And what we're going to call this is transportation. So 70 more. We have Starbucks. So this will be under, say, business lunch. Yeah. Create a new category, business lunch. Then we also have restaurants. This will also be business lunch. Yeah, so we have refunds, we have gym membership. So I'm just going to have gym. Yeah, these are private expenses or personal expenses. Um, yeah, so we have VAT, we have refunds. So I'm just going to call all of these refunds. Then the just two more, I think. So we have accountant. So we can also just, since it's just one, we can just add category from here. Um, accountant fees. Then we also have VAT payments. Right. And with this, we've categorized everything. So you see this is just opening balance. Don't need to do anything about that. Um, then when we come back to all transactions are basically categorized now. Right. So I'm just going to go to the reports page now, just so now Alex has an idea what has been happening. Right. By default, it just shows the expenses. Um, so you can also toggle this the charts. You can also like see the table view. You see like this year. So from like for the last 3 months, these are like the top categories that Alex spends money on. For contractor, he spent 10,000 euros. Private payouts to his personal accounts like 9,900, rents, ads, VAT, other categories. So if I click on this, then you see all those other categories where cloud, communication, electricity, transport, groceries, accountant fees, business lunch, and the rest. I don't think we added a lot of vendors, but you see like some of the top vendors you also like patronize. So Vattenfall, DB, Edica, Figma, and some other vendors as well, right? And what you can also do is the same way we did like month by month. You can also go. Oh, sorry, I clicked on yearly. You can also go monthly and start from, so looked at August, says okay, this is how much I spent. So rent, contractor, ads, communication tools, other categories. You can also like look at like July, look at so contractor is spent way more compared to August. Then he had to also like pay VAT. So he paid his VAT quarterly, which is like what we also like saw from the case study. And then you can also look at June. And with this, right, when we go back to the case study, we said how can we help him, right? Alex finally sees where his money is really going. So he knows, okay, this is where I'm spending money the most. These are the top categories. These are the top vendors. Um, he spots leaks that were hidden before, right? So, for example, he always had the gut feeling that ads were expensive, but he never knew. So, if I go back to, if I click on ads, so this is monthly, but if I just do for this year, right? And you see, I spent almost 7,000 on ads, Google ads, and Meta ads. And if you want to even make it very, very like sweet, what you can do is also like, so I can just search for Google and update the vendor. So this is Google. I can cancel this, then do the same for Meta and just update the vendor as Meta. Then if I clear this again, so like everything works together, right? If I click on view reports, then that is also another thing you can see. So he has spent 6,000 on ads, he spent 4,000 on Meta, he has spent 2,590 on Google. And this is also something that can also help him to know, okay, how much have I actually gotten back from Meta ads, how much have I gotten back on Google ads, to know, or should I optimize, should I spend more on Google rather than Meta, or do I need to just reduce my ads budgets on this? Maybe I'm not getting as much back, or am I getting so much more? Do I need to increase it just so I get more payouts from clients? Right, so this is done. So instead of relying on just guts, Alex can now base the scaling decisions on like gut feel on facts, right? And another thing that is really really powerful for Alex is Alex can also come to the overview page. So this is based on, by default, everything is based on the last 3 months. Very very similar. So this is also like top categories, top vendors. This is also the net cash flow. So in the last 3 months, he has made like a profit of 47,000. This is the cash he has today, 79,000, and this is basically like a runway, right? So just based on the last 3 months, he has been saving 15,000 euros every month. So you can see that's why the runway is like infinite, because if he keeps saving 15,000, then he's never going to run out of cash. But what we can also do is change this to expenses only. So that means if no client pays him, right, with all the his running expenses every month, so he's going to have just 5 months if he does not get any client to pay him in the monthly as he has always been having. So he's spending on average 14,946 euros every month, right? But this includes so many things, right? So if you look at the top categories, this also includes the contractor payouts, the money to his account, rent, ads, and everything, right? So this is basically the first step. What we want to help Alex do, right? To first understand, okay, this is what has actually been happening, and Alex can now make a decision based on this, right? And yeah, like I said earlier, this is also a three-part series. So for the first part, this is over 30 minutes already. So for the first part, I think we're just going to stop here. So just help Alex know what is actually happening. And yeah, if you're Alex, or you know like an Alex in your network, this is what a finance can do for yourself, or for your friend, or like your network. This is what we can do: help you know what is actually going on, without guessing, and really really straightforward. This is altogether like 33 minutes, and with the way it works is scalable, is not different, right? If the transactions were 2 months, or sorry, 2 years old, it's going to be the same, because once we set the rules, a box updates, right? So your transactions of 2 years can be interpreted into something like this within 30 minutes, right? Within 30 minutes, you can get this from your transactions of 2 years plus, right? And yeah, maybe before I end this video, right, just to also show what Alex can look forward to with heyFinance even after now. Um, so monthly support from the heyFinance team. So right now we don't have like auto connecting like bank accounts, so you had to upload, or we had to upload the CSV version. So pending when that is auto connected, that's what we're also working on. But pending when that is done, we're going to work with Alex every month, approximately 30 to 60 minutes per month, upload the transactions for the previous month, create a budget together. This was not really shown in this video, but this is something that is also possible, like from the budget section. We have AI powered clarity. So right now, we had to like make some rules. Those things are really really good, because you also want to make categories that make sense to you, right? That's the point. You don't want AI to just decide which categories. So it's good to also make some categories that make sense to you. But just with creating those categories, what AI can do is AI can already look at the CSV, pick out the vendor, look at your categories, assign the right categories. This is not really difficult to do. The reason why this is not yet there is we need to, like, we're very very conscious of data privacy, so we want to make sure we have the best system to know which financial data to send to the AI and all of that. But this is something that is going to really save, like, because this is going to save like an additional like 20 minutes just to if you have AI or if AI is doing the categorization, right? Runway forecasting with intelligence, right? So we have right now is calculated by your expenses, your last 3 months. But what we want to do is with intelligence is being able to say how can I increase my runway by 10 months and by 10 months, right? And the AI can look at, because now the AI knows. So based on your last 3 months, this is what you've been spending money on, right? The AI can understand, okay, what are you trying to achieve? What are some fixed costs that you cannot reduce? And AI can give you like some suggestions, right? And beyond AI, like I already mentioned, auto connecting with bank accounts. But like I said, Alex has his own accountant. So this is not an accounting tool. This is majorly for founders, for you to understand what is going on, for you to have clarity over everything. But like connecting with accounting tools like QuickBooks and the rest for your accountant to work with, shared access, so the ability to collaborate with contractors or even accountants and share like simplified views with his family. So what we already have now, this is just Alex as business. What that means is on this business, Alex will be able to like have like users, so like he can invite his accountants to come see what is going on. If he wants to have like a one-time financial analyst, down the financial analyst can also come to the platform and really see what is going on all in one place. And also, on that thing that's really interesting is, so this is Alex's business, right? But Alex might want to also manage his personal finance, and he does not want to create two different accounts. So Alex will also be able to switch between business and personal finance, and he can do the same thing for his personal finance as well. And something similar, he can also invite his wife. So he and his wife are, so his wife is invited to the personal finance, then the accountants, the financial analysts can be invited to the business accounts. But Alex himself, who is in both of them, can just quickly switch between accounts. So that's something that we're also like working on. And yeah, so with A Finance today, Alex has clarity. He knows what is actually going on. But with A Finance for the future, right, the goal is for Alex to have a personal finance assistant powered by AI, and not just to track the money but also to guide him like and make smarter decisions. And yeah, that is the first part of our series. If you stay to this point, thank you very much for watching. This was a very long recording, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.